Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel General Hospital Official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The most public way possible reveals Drew and Willow's affair and Ava's financial issues. Today at General Hospital, everyone tunes in for the major PCU game as the Quartermaines have a holiday family reunion. Sunny takes Natalia out for dinner at Cafe Cherry. She shows him the most recent count for Lois's home and heart appearance. Rick and Ava suddenly stroll inside the eatery. Ava insists on walking over and saying hi when Rick asks whether she wants to go somewhere else. Hello to Sunny and Natalia, Ava begins, then continues on about how much she loved her time with Avery. Rick questions if this is Natalia's revenge for lying on the stand. Sunny says he is not in the mood to talk about this tonight. Ava advises Rick they should celebrate their triumph somewhere. As Rick and Ava go, Sunny advises they ignore those two. He wants to pay Natalia top attention. She claims she's missing her kid, who is in Puerto Rico. She's close to her parents and siblings but is now not with either of her children. That should tell him all he needs to know about her. She claims her son is a wonderful musician, and he found out early on, much earlier than Ollie, that he didn't want her aid with his profession. She is in wonder that his kids are so present in his life. He reminds her that it's never too late to try and rectify things with her own children. Natalia talks up how Sunny and Rick definitely aren't close. Sunny claims he and Rick didn't grow up together, and he's always craved his approval. When he didn't get it, Rick went out to tear him down. Sunny says you have to watch your back with Rick, since he's not above stabbing you in it. He knows the longer he remains in town, that he'll ultimately get his feelings hurt, and he'll seek retribution. He also won't make a custody struggle with Ava easy or quick. Natalia feels he'll win as he's a fantastic dad. Sunny adds Ava isn't afraid to fight dirty, and this might go on until it bankrupts both him and Ava. Rick and Ava head to the Port Charles Grill and toast to Ava's future chapter. She says she's grateful to be here, due to him. Rick says he has taken on criminal clients for a payout, but he couldn't have defended her so passionately if he didn't feel she didn't do what she was accused of. She suspects sticking it Sunny didn't hurt either. Ava and Rick discuss about how neither cares much about what the residents of Port Charles care about them. Ava says what Avery, Trina, Lucas, and Nina think of her is all that matters to her. Everyone else can kick rocks. He asks about present company and she responds she appreciates him. When he asks how much, she offers they find out. Rick asks what is on her list of things to accomplish now that she's a free woman. She claims she needs a new house first. When the bill comes, Ava insists she pay it as it's a fraction of what she owes him. She then wonders how he thinks about early Christmas gifts, especially one wrapped in enormous large red bows. The waiter returns, and Ava's credit card was denied. Rick then gets a notification from the bank that her check bounced. Alexis visits Christina at Charlie's. It's closed, and Christina reveals she's the new owner owing to Sunny, and she wants to reinvent the facility. She says Dad felt it would help her take her mind off things. Alexis reveals she came to notify her that Molly and TJ have separated. Christina assumes she thinks it's her responsibility, while in reality this is part of Ava's destruction, and she called it that TJ and Molly wouldn't make it. Alexis asks her to tell her she knows they split up because their kid died. Christina says she never wanted them to face this anguish, but if Adela had lived, they still would have broken up. Alexis says she has no idea what would have happened, and both she and Molly had the right to dream about what it would be like to be a mother. Christina worries Molly isn't acting like a mom. If she were, she'd want Ava to pay. Alexis believes Molly is mourning differently, and both she and Molly are in anguish, and she can't understand that her sister is hurting, too. Alexis tells Christina that she needs her sister more than she thinks. Christina says she does. Unfortunately, it's Sam she needs. Alexis knows she misses Sam. If Sam were here, she'd say her anger at Ava is legitimate, but what she said to Molly in court was terrible. As soon as she apologizes, then she'll begin to mend. She would also argue working at Charlie's won't let her bypass the process of grief and healing. Alexis needs her to recognize how abusing her sister is harming them all. Christina doesn't want any of them to be in pain, but she can't do what her mom is asking her to do. Alexis says she's made her choice, and she knows where to find her and Molly. Christina knows her mom doesn't agree with her, but not to give up on her, as she can't lose her to Ava too. Alexis informs her that will never happen as she's her mother, and they embrace. Elizabeth checks on Dex at the hospital, who is tuned into the PCU game on his phone. She heads back to the nurse's station, and Felicia asks if Dex has been cleared for guests. Liz says he has, but he's watching the big game. Felicia eventually checks on Dex and tells him she is delighted he's doing well. He says it might have been so much worse. She admires him for perceiving the issue so positively. Dex acknowledges the previous time he was shot, it wasn't in a noble way since he was working for Sonny. However, getting injured while doing a profession he is proud of means everything to him. Felicia thinks he's a terrific cop, and she's delighted he's feeling better. He is, too, and he just wants to go home. Felicia comes to the nurse's station and informs Liz she's filed some discharge paperwork for another patient. Suddenly, an alarm on Liz's PC begins to beep. In the Quartermaine kitchen, Sasha examines prenatal vitamins on her table and then places it down on the counter. Carly walks in, sees the tablet, and asks who is pregnant. Sasha says no one, and that she was browsing for a multivitamin and that popped up. At the gatehouse, Nina thanks Willow for inviting her to the Christmas party but can't help but see she's worried. Willow is dreading the party with all the Quartermaines there. Nina knows she means Drew, and whatever she decides, she'll back her. Willow has decided her kids deserve a pleasant Christmas. In the living room, Tracy leaves Laura a message inquiring when she can visit Lulu. Ned enters and is astonished she hasn't seen Lulu yet. Tracy complains Laura is being stingy with Lulu's time. She considers going to see her now, but Ned thinks this Christmas gathering is too important to Olivia. Tracy adds, knowing Drew has been playing footsie with Michael's wife, what could possibly go wrong tonight? As the guests arrive, Olivia reminds Ned that Carly doesn't know about Willow and Drew, so keep everything under wraps. Carly asks Michael where Willow is. He tells she's getting the kids situated with the sitter, and she and Nina are coming. Carly snarks about Nina attending, and Michael replies she's family. Carly is convinced Nina was begging to come because she and Drew had been intimate lately. Drew comes, and Carly chimes, there's our new congressman. Joss is tuning into the big game on her phone and tells Trina that Kai's been sacked 3 times and they've taken him out. Chase and Brooklyn ask for an update, and Joss says they are 1 point up. They want to turn the game on the big screen, which Tracy complains to, but Olivia approves of. Michael makes chit-chat with Drew when Nina and Willow enter. Willow offers Michael a kiss, and Drew walks off to fetch a drink. Meanwhile, Tracy continues to oppose to the game being watched, but Ned demands they put it on. However, when he turns on the TV, the cable is out. Carly senses the tension between Willow and Michael and grabs Olivia to ask what is going on with them. She thinks it relates the fight between Jason and Drew, with whom Willow and Michael are close to. Olivia says if something is going on, they'll sort it out. Olivia runs off to check on the dinner. Michael hides out in the kitchen with Sasha. He can't stand to be around Drew. He has decided to tell Willow the truth after the holidays, but he won't name Sasha. He believes they'll each know the other cheated, and they'll be on equal footing. He shouts that Drew is the one who went after Willow and pushed them apart. He believes that will cost Drew dearly. Back at the party, Drew talks with Willow. He says Scout is having a hard time this Christmas, as he can't offer her the one item she wants. Meanwhile, Chase rants to Brooklyn that he wishes Willow will stay away from Drew. He still can't believe Willow maintains such a secret from Michael. Brooklyn thinks everyone has secrets, it makes them human. She looks uncomfortable. Gio comes, and Joss can't believe he left the game where he performed the anthem at, as he could have witnessed it in person. Now he's stuck watching on phones like the rest of them. Carly pulls Drew away from Willow to tell him that he's proud of him for negotiating a truce with Jason. She asks how he will divide his time between DC and Port Charles. Drew says he's going to commute as he doesn't want to upheave Scout's life right now. She tells him that he's a fantastic parent. Nina then yanks Drew aside and informs him that he was meant to remain clear of Michael and Willow and he's not helping things. Drew reveals that he was talking to Willow about Scout and wants to arrange for them to spend time together as Scout loves Willow. She finds him despicable for manipulating his grieving daughter to be with Willow. He says if she thinks that what he's doing, do something about it. She says nothing, and he says, I thought so. Meanwhile, Tracy is upset that everyone is intent on watching the game on their phones. She pulls Ned aside and into the foyer to chat about Drew. She insists they need to push him out now. She claims that Monica loves Jason and Michael, and Drew is at odds with both of them. Everyone celebrates from the living room, and Ned runs back in. Joss rushes out to the foyer to phone Dex and check on him. She says she'll stop by after the big game to see him. In the living area, Michael returns to observe Drew and Willow talking. Michael tries to switch on the TV, but Ned claims the cable is out. Michael offers to broadcast the game from his phone to the TV. He begins streaming, and on the set, Kai is interviewed about how the game is going. Tracy snatches the remote and mutes the television as a compromise. Sasha comes in with drinks as everyone is engrossed on the game, which is about to end. Ned says he has to hear it and turns the volume on. Tracy becomes irritated and takes Michael's phone, stating this is giving her a headache. She swipes all over his phone. Suddenly, the video of Drew and Willow making love begins to play, and everyone is startled. Next on General Hospital, Lulu looks to Dante for aid with finding Charlotte. Trina visits with Kai after the game. Chase tells Brooklyn that maybe Michael and Willow were never meant to be. Willow can't believe Michael took a video of her with Drew. Carly lashes out at Drew that he finally met someone who puts him first. At the hospital, Liz says, something very wrong is going on here. Spoilers, Carly unleashes her fury on Drew after scandal erupts. General Hospital spoilers claim that Carly Spencer still has no idea that her ex, Drew Quartermaine, slept with Willow Corinthos. Willow is married to Carly's son Michael Corinthos, so she's going to have quite a bit to say once she hears the truth. Carly gave Jason Morgan trouble for punching Drew after he uncovered the truth, but only because she never understood why, and Jason refused to tell her. General Hospital spoilers, Carly Spencer is protecting of Michael Corinthos. Carly and Michael have always been close, and Carly is pretty protective of her son. She hasn't really approved of many of the ladies who Michael has dated over the years. But she liked Willow quite a bit straight from the start. Willow and Carly have grown pretty close, thus Carly will undoubtedly perceive Willow's actions as a personal betrayal as well as a betrayal of her marital vows. But it's Drew that Carly will most unlikely unload all of her wrath on. Spoilers, Drew Quartermaine and Carly Spencer were very close when Drew returned from Cassadine Island a few years ago. He ended himself falling in love with Carly. Drew even went to prison to protect Carly when the insider trading controversy broke out. Drew had a rough time in prison and was beaten to within an inch of his life. But when he finally was released, Drew and Carly resumed off right where they left off. It was only after Jason returned that Drew dumped Carly because he knew eventually she would pick between them. General Hospital spoilers, Drew Quartermaine is also sleeping with Nina Reeves. Drew has also been sleeping with Nina Reeves, Willow's mother, ever since he broke up with Carly. He's going to have a lot to answer for once the truth comes out, and this time it may very well be Carly who punches Drew. At the very least, Carly will now understand why Jason punched Drew several days ago. Drew is making enemies all across town. Perhaps it's better if he just moved to Washington, D.C. forever. What do you think? How will Carly react to Drew sleeping with Willow? Will Carly realize Jason was justified punching Drew? Should Drew just leave town? General Hospital spoilers, is Evan Hofer exiting as Dex Heller? Here's what fans need to know. General Hospital spoilers hint that the show could be gearing up for another dark shocker. Is Evan Hofer departing as Dex Heller? Here's what fans need to know as we brace for another potential casualty at GH. Dex certainly made a terrible move when he confronted Cyrus Renault about his Halloween appearance at the hospital. Although Dex assumed Cyrus was there to visit Lulu Spencer despite being warned away, Cyrus was there for something far more evil. Since we know Cyrus gave Sam McCall a Digitalis overdose that night, he obviously doesn't want Dex running his mouth to the wrong people. That explains why Cyrus presumably stabbed Dex in the back at Rice Plaza. Although Dex seems to be healing well in the aftermath, things feel fairly ominous if you ask us. The more Dex talks about how excited he is to go home, the more it feels like he'll never make it there. It feels like the show has been downplaying Dex's ordeal for a reason. Simply like with Sam, they presumably want viewers to think Dex is going to be okay simply to make it more crushing when Dex doesn't make it. Jocelyn Jacks paid Dex a visit at GH and made arrangements to take a beach trip with him while he recovers. There was also a lovely phone call between the lovers that had Jocelyn agreeing to pop by with some treats from the Quartermaine Christmas party. Doesn't it feel like Dex and Jocelyn are having their final moments before disaster strikes? We're feeling deja vu since this feels like when Dante Falconeri popped the question to Sam and got his own last love scenes with her. General Hospital spoilers predict Jocelyn will get some news that's going to transform her life on December 13th. Does that mean Jocelyn will find out Dex is deceased in a surprising twist? After all, a patient's monitors were blaring the alarm at the close of the December 12th program. It is likely that Cyrus visited Dex's room and shot him with his own digitalis overdose, therefore Dex may be next in line to meet a deadly outcome. There needs to be another large incident at the hospital to confirm someone is actively targeting patients, thus Dex may be employed to achieve that. Of course, it's possible Dex might end up in a coma if the show wants to keep him around, but it feels like the writing's on the wall for his demise instead. The situation isn't looking good for Dex Heller, therefore Evan Hofer may be on his way out. Our projections point to Jocelyn receiving a terrible blow, so we'll be sure to bring you updates as more information emerge. If Evan Hofer is exiting as Dex Heller, how do you feel about that? Do you believe Dex should stay or go? Carly came into the Quartermaine kitchen and was astonished to see Sasha's tablet open to a page with pregnancy vitamins. Sasha mentioned that she was seeking for multivitamins and prenatal vitamins turned up in her search. At the gatehouse, Willow and Nina waited for the sitter before heading to the main house for the Christmas party. Nina thanked Willow for inviting her, but also wondered why Willow sounded so concerned. Willow acknowledged she was dreading the gathering. She didn't want to be among all the Quartermaines, especially Drew. Tracy left another message for Laura wondering when she could see Willow. She was about to just pop into Laura's unannounced, but Ned stopped her. Olivia would have been upset if Tracy skipped the Q holiday party. As the guests started to arrive, Olivia reminded Ned that Carly didn't know about Drew and Willow, so she wanted Ned to make sure to keep quiet. Tracy interacted with the family but was worried upon hearing Brooklyn and Chase make arrangements to head to the bedroom for some baby-making action. "I don't know why you two are so anxious to have a child. This place has become a daycare center," she stated. Tracy was also humiliated to overhear Jocelyn begging to turn the TV on so they could watch the PCU Landview football game. "Absolutely not," she declared. Ned overcame his mother and switched the TV on, but there was no visual, only a blue screen. Tracy was grateful that the cable seemed to be out. Jocelyn and Trina watched the game on their phone instead. In another portion of the living room, Carly asked Michael where Willow was. He said she would arrive with Nina soon. Carly was not delighted to learn that Nina would be there. When Drew got in, he headed right to Michael where they made small conversation about making Christmas memorable for Scout. Suddenly, Willow went in and was startled to find Drew and Michael speaking. Willow joined Michael in the corner as Carly observed. She could tell something unusual was going on between Michael and Willow. Carly drew Olivia away as she was chatting to Nina, who was annoyed. Carly didn't care and demanded Olivia tell her what was going between her son and daughter-in-law. Olivia refused to tell Carly anything and left the room to check on the cooking. After Drew and Willow experienced an awkward moment, Carly drew him aside to tell him she was proud of him for putting his disagreements with Jason aside. Nina wasn't as nice. When Nina pulled Drew aside, she put him to task for talking to Willow when he was supposed to be staying away from her. Drew claimed he was trying to organize a day for Willow and Scout to spend time together. Nina was outraged. "You're disgusting. You're using your grieving daughter as an excuse to be around Willow," Nina cried. In the kitchen, Sasha was piling appetizers onto a serving tray when Michael discovered her and asked if he could hide out. He was ready to tell Willow everything, which concerned Sasha. Michael assured her that he wouldn't say the lady he slept with was Sasha. He also assured Sasha that he wanted to make Drew pay. When Michael exited from the kitchen, he found Drew and Willow talking in a corner. He tried to turn the TV on, but Ned told him the cable was out. Michael then transferred the game from his phone to the TV, but Tracy seized the control and turned the sound off. After Ned switched the sound back on, Tracy grabbed Michael's phone to shut the game off but mistakenly played the footage of Willow and Drew doing the deed on the playroom floor the night Sam died. Sunny and Natalia enjoyed dinner at Cafe Sherry. They caught up on deception business before witnessing Ava and Rick stroll in. Ava thanked Sunny for providing her time with Avery. Rick was a little less diplomatic. "Is this the payback for lying on the stand?" Rick asked Natalia, referring to Sunny bringing Natalia to supper. Sunny instantly rebuked Rick for asking such a question. Ava stepped in to urge that she and Rick go somewhere else. Sunny declared he would not allow Rick and Ava to ruin their evening. He wanted to understand more about Natalia. Natalia told Sunny that she was on the outs with her kid. "I'm close to my parents. I'm close to my siblings, but I am currently not with my children," she said. Natalia claimed that she tried to oversee her son's music career but was too domineering just as she was with Blaze. Sunny reminded Natalia that there was always time to make things right with your kids. Natalia turned the conversation and asked Sunny about his connection with Rick. Sunny revealed that he and Rick didn't grow up together and didn't meet until they were adults. Rick and Ava ended up at the Port Charles Grill where Rick toasted to Ava's future chapter. Rick told Ava that he never believed she was guilty or he wouldn't have been able to defend her as fiercely as he did. Rick stated that pulling one over on Sunny was merely an extra benefit. Rick stated he was impressed that Ava didn't care what people thought of her. Rick asked Ava what she planned to do next with her life. As she insisted on paying the amount, Ava told Rick she planned to buy a new house. She also asked Rick how he felt about early Christmas gifts. Rick questioned if the gifts were wrapped or unwrapped. Ava said it would be wrapped in a huge big bow as she fingered the bow on her blouse. The server returned and told Ava that her credit card was denied just as Rick got a warning from his bank that the check Ava had handed him bounced. Alexis met with Christina at Charlie's. Christina has closed the bar down indefinitely while she works out how to recreate it. Alexis was surprised to hear that Sunny had donated Charlie's to Christina. Alexis changed the conversation and brought up Molly. Christina instantly cut her off at the pass and stated she wasn't going to apologize to her sister. Alexis didn't care and pressed ahead with the Molly talk. Christina was startled to find that Molly and TJ had broken up. Christina initially blamed Ava for the separation because she feels Ava is accountable for every negative thing that happens in Port Charles. Christina also felt that she was right to want to fight for custody of the kids so she wouldn't have ended up in a broken family. That is a huge oversimplification of all of our feelings. Molly and TJ broke up because their baby died and they weren't able to grieve in the same way, Alexis pointed out. Christina still felt that there had to be underlying problems in Molly and TJ's relationship before the baby died. Alexis said there was no way of knowing what would have happened had Molly and TJ become parents. Alexis tried to make Christina see how hard it's been for Molly since she heard she couldn't have children of her own. It doesn't make her any less of a mother just because she can't carry her own baby, and it doesn't make her any less of a mother because she can't grieve with you, Alexis added. Alexis implored Christina to attempt to move on, but Christina couldn't do it and was amazed that Molly could. Alexis contradicted her claims. "What you refuse to see is that you are both in agony. You and Molly, I promise you that you need your sister more than you realize." Christina agreed. "You're right. I do need my sister, but unfortunately, Molly isn't the sister that I need. I need Sam," Christina remarked. Alexis delivered it to Christina straight. "I know what your sister would say to you. She'd say your anger at Ava is justified, but what you said to Molly at the courthouse is just wrong. I hope you see how much punishing your sister is hurting you and all of us." "More than you know," Alexis stressed. Christina still refused to apologize, so Alexis collected her coat to go and reminded her daughter that she knew where to find her and Molly. Christina insisted she couldn't lose Alexis to Ava. Alexis promised Christina that she was her mother and she'd always adore her. At GH, both Elizabeth and Felicia checked in on Dex, who thanked Felicia for giving a detailed witness testimony. Dex confessed the stabbing incident could have ended a lot worse. When Liz and Felicia were back at the nurse's station, an alert rang from Dex's room. Next on General Hospital. Elizabeth is frightened. Carly blasts Drew. Lulu looks for a clue. General Hospital spoilers, December 13th, Drew and Willow have a whole lot of explaining to do. What to expect on General Hospital. The Quartermaine Christmas party visitors just wanted to watch a college football game, but thanks to Tracy, they receive an eyeful they never imagined. Jaws are on the floor as everyone gathers in the living room gets to watch Drew and Willow having sex on the playroom floor. Drew begs for Tracy to turn the video off, but by then it's too late. The affair is out in the open, mortifying Willow and angering Drew. It also angers Carly, who chews Drew out for injuring her darling newborn child. Drew already dumped her this year as soon as Jason came to town because he was concerned he'd be second best in Carly's eyes. Carly puts salt in previous wounds when she tells Drew that he finally met someone who would put him first. As for Willow, she breaks down in tears and accuses Michael of taking the video. Little did she realize that the nanny cam performed its job the night she cheated on her spouse. More danger for Dex? Elizabeth is baffled when the alarms in Dex's room start to go off. She checks on her patient and is astonished when she learns something really weird is going on in the hospital. Meanwhile, Jocelyn gets life-changing news. Is that news concerning Dex and his condition? Could Cyrus have returned to finish the job that was started in Rice Plaza when Dex was stabbed from behind? Surely he would not use Digitalis again, otherwise Sam's death would appear like murder and not a prescription mix-up. Lulu's determination. Lulu has a one-track focus now that she is out of her coma and has reunited with most of her family. She is determined to find Charlotte and bring her home, but she doesn't care what happens to Valentine. To that purpose, she goes seeking for clues. Dante sees her and offers to help as Lulu scours for anything Valentine and Charlotte may have left behind before they ran off for parts unknown. Will the search for Charlotte bring Lulu and Dante closer together? Sunny decides to treat Natalia to a wonderful supper at Café Cherry, providing them both with a temporary escape from their own concerns. Natalia utilizes the time to share some light-hearted news, showing Sunny footage from Lois' last appearance on Home and Heart. Just as they begin to settle into the evening, Rick and Ava unexpectedly enter the restaurant. Rick hesitates, urging they move elsewhere, but Ava is keen on staying. She confidently approaches Sunny and Natalia's table, offering a greeting tinged with subtle teasing. Ava gently expresses how much she likes her time with Avery, a comment that doesn't go ignored. Rick, plainly on edge, interjects, insinuating that Natalia might be seeking payback for her courtroom testimony. Sunny abruptly shuts down the talk, indicating he has no interest in discussing the topic that evening. Taking the cue, Ava drags Rick away, suggesting they find somewhere else to celebrate their recent success. As the tension subsides, Sunny tries to divert the evening's focus back to Natalia. He promises her they shouldn't let Rick and Ava's presence mar their night. Natalia, however, opens up about her troubles, expressing how much she misses her son, who is currently residing in Puerto Rico. She describes the difficult dynamics of her life, being separated from her parents and siblings and, most tragically, not being with either of her children. Through their talk, Natalia discloses that her son, a great musician, had taken the choice early on to build his own career without her aid. She admires Sunny for the deep relationships he keeps with his children, understanding the contrast between his life and hers. Sunny, ever the optimist, assures her that it's never too late to rebuild relationships with her kids. Their debate takes a more personal turn when Natalia comments on the evident enmity between Sunny and Rick. Sunny muses on their tumultuous relationship, revealing how Rick's lifelong need for approval had morphed into animosity. Rick's resolve to undercut him, Sunny says, makes him a powerful enemy. He realizes the hard battle ahead, particularly when it comes to custody battles with Ava, which he predicts will be extensive and costly. Natalia reassures Sunny, emphasizing her conviction in his qualities as a father. Despite her confidence, Sunny is apprehensive, knowing Ava's determination and willingness to fight dirty. Ava and Rick, a toast to victory. At the Port Charles Grill, Rick and Ava engage in a happy toast to her newfound freedom. Ava expresses gratitude for Rick's legal prowess, noting that his belief in her innocence played a big role in their trial win. Rick downplays his role, implying that his reasons weren't wholly altruistic, as the opportunity to annoy Sonny had its own attraction. Their debate switches to the broader consequences of their reputations in Port Charles. Ava acknowledges she lays little weight on public opinion, underlining that only the perspectives of those closest to her, Avery, Trina, Lucas, and Nina, truly matter. Rick, curious, questions about his place in her life. Ava, ever the flirt, leaves the topic tantalizingly open, suggesting they explore it further. As they discuss Ava's intentions for the future, she expresses her immediate need for a new house. When the bill arrives, Ava insists on covering it as a little mark of her appreciation for Rick's support. However, the jubilant mood takes a turn when her credit card is rejected, and Rick receives a notification about her bounced check. The financial glitch puts a shadow of worry over Ava's lofty aspirations. Christina and Alexis, a family strained. At Charlie's pub, Christina is busy envisioning her plans for the establishment after recently becoming its new owner, due to Sonny's assistance. Alexis swings by for a visit, delivering news of Molly and TJ's breakup. Christina, already burdened by her own troubles, feels Alexis is there to throw blame. Christina's irritation boils over as she points to Ava's destructive influence, stating that the repercussions from previous events has made her prophecies regarding Molly and TJ's relationship come true. Alexis strives to bring clarity, telling Christina that grief and loss affect everyone differently. She begs Christina to realize Molly's pain and acknowledge that the family's strength comes in their oneness, not division. Though Christina protests at Alexis' recommendations, she ultimately admits she misses her sister Sam, believing Sam's wisdom could help her navigate these volatile feelings. Alexis strives to offer perspective, emphasizing that healing begins with accountability and forgiveness. Their exchange closes on a tentative tone of reconciliation, with Christina imploring Alexis not to give up on her despite their differences. Dex's recovery, a new perspective. At General Hospital, Dex is recovering from a recent injury. Elizabeth checks up on him, noting his jovial disposition as he watches a college football game on his phone. Felicia later drops by, commending him for his resilience and bright approach. Dex muses on the significance of his injuries, compared it with earlier wounds experienced while working for Sonny. For the first time, he feels a sense of purpose in his profession, which provides him pride despite the hardships. Their chat shows Dex's progress and his shift from a life of questionable choices to one of integrity. As Felicia goes, an unexpected alert sounds at the nurse's station, warning potential problems ahead. The Quartermaine Christmas party, chaos unwrapped. At the Quartermaine estate, preparations for the annual Christmas party are underway, with Tracy, Ned, and Olivia at the helm. Despite the celebratory environment, underlying tensions boil. Tracy is distracted with her own ideas, while Michael and Willow's rocky relationship threatens to overshadow the celebration. As visitors arrive, the usual Quartermaine hijinks occur. The family's attempt to watch the major football game is thwarted by technical glitches, triggering a series of funny and dramatic mishaps. Amid the turmoil, personal problems come to light, culminating in a frightening moment when a private film of Drew and Willow is mistakenly broadcast for all to see. The repercussions from the disclosure sets the stage for greater drama, as family alliances shift and secrets unravel. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.